Hello, hello. My name is Crystal Chigwu, your Hope Catalyst, and you're welcome to the HopeGrill, where we teach, infuse, and experience hope. Temitope Ogunniyi did not set out to be a teacher. She is that one person you will call an accidental teacher. She's going to be taking us through the journey of her life and how she stumbled upon teaching, and she's made a whole lot of lemonade out of her lemons. Temitope, you're welcome to the HopeGrill.
Thank you very much, Crystal,
it's good to have you on our show.
Yes, like you know, I'm happy to be here because everybody calls me the happy teacher.
Yeah.
Crystal wasn't expecting this. I know you weren't expecting it as well, but I'll do this. I am H-A-P-P-Y. I am H-A-P-P-Y. I know I am. I am sure I am. I am H-A-P-P-Y. Happy!
Wow, yes. I really wasn't expecting that. You are indeed the happy teacher.
Yes,
so tell me, how did you stumble upon teaching? And I mean, it's interesting. You're the happy teacher, yet the accidental teacher. So tell me, how did this journey
be? Yes, I will prefer everybody remembers me as the happy teacher, but the accidental teacher's story is more or less like what brought me here today. Now, I was working in the school environment, yes, but not as a teacher.
Wow.
Although I love children, I still love them. And I studied French and public relations. I know many people don't know this. And I went to France and got back, and the owner of the school all of a sudden just remembered that, wait, you studied French and we're looking for a French teacher. No. So I was redeployed. And for 3 days I cried.
Wow.
Yes. Because I didn't want to teach. I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy public relations. I was at the front desk. Yes, my title then when I was with the school was the front desk officer / the assistant admissions officer.
Okay, so kind of like a very dignified.
Oh, I loved my job, and I introduced myself the very first day. So the staff strength of the school is like about 300.
Wow.
It's a big school. And I remember introducing myself on that first day as the new face at the front desk. So anybody coming in, you have to deal with me. And I loved it. So they said I was going to class, and I was like, no, it wasn't in the plan.
Yeah.
But today, this is almost 8 years after.
Wow.
My stint in the educational sector is about 15 years now. But in the classroom, 8 years, and I won't do any other thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That is so remarkable. So why do we have a lot of, you know, sad issues, uninspiring teachers? Because, I mean, when children actually think of going to the classroom, some children really do cry. Why do you have a lot of teachers that are not as happy as you are?
Okay, so for me, I work with so many mantras, and there's one that I would say many people also know me as. I would say, if you're a teacher, you should teach from the heart. So you'd hear me say teaching is a work of heart. That's H-E-A-R-T. Now, some people are doing it because they need a job.
Yeah.
But then once you realize that the moment you step into class, even if it's only one child that you're dealing with, you realize that you're affecting generations, your mindset will change.
True.
Like I said, didn't want to be a teacher. When I found myself there, like you said, I had to make lemonades out of my lemon. So I started enjoying it. So I saw the children as my customers.
Wow.
Because I was dealing with them. I was giving them something. Their parents had paid for it.
Yeah.
So apart from the fact that I was teaching maybe that subject, I looked at that child as an individual. So if I have 20 children in my class, I deal with 20 children individually. It might be tough. Because I'm saying this today because I have had years of experience.
Yeah.
So for a teacher that is just coming in, it won't be the same, and it's understandable. And that's why for me, I developed the happy teacher philosophy. So it's so much more than just taking that subject that you want to teach. But you look at this child and you say, you know what, there's so much more about you.
True.
I'll give a very recent example. I haven't been in class for a while, and my students are kind of like waiting. I don't know how to explain it, but
So
it's
have you
more
back
like,
in class?
yes, as in, what's going to happen to us? And I'm like, you guys will be fine.
Wow.
So if teachers look at their jobs much more than, okay, so let me go back a bit. I'm a teacher, but I haven't gone on a journey of self-discovery. It's going to be hard for me to deal with the issues that come up. So when you say maybe a teacher is sad, the teacher probably doesn't even understand what to do. The teacher has this certificate, accidental teacher. I didn't start out with a teaching certificate. It was NC. I wasn't meant to be teaching.
Well, very true, because you were the front desk person,
yes, and then
and the face of the school.
On the job, I now started to learn. So for me, I look at teachers because I also help schools recruit. Yes, you will come with the certification because we're a certificate-based environment.
Very true.
But then there is much more. So if you tell me that, yes, I have my NC, I have my this, I have my that, and I put you in class with a child and you can't connect, sorry, you can't get the job.
I mean, you are such, in fact, even talking to you, it's kind of infectious. So the thinking for me is, as a parent, how can I take on this happy teacher philosophy and work with it?
I would also remind you again, like I said just a few minutes ago, it just doesn't happen. It takes you going on a journey. If you see yourself as that teacher who's just going to do it for a while, then you know what, don't bother. But then when I say don't bother again, I'm thinking the children that have been entrusted in your care,
True.
what's going to happen to them? I left the school I was with and I had parents calling me. And I'm like, wait, I was just the French teacher. But the truth is, it was much more than that for me.
And as it were, kind of inconsequential subjects, because math is not English.
It wasn't math, it's not a core subject. So French, and many of them even know they're not going to use it. But you know, children that, okay, so I teach through primary, secondary. I've done a bit of stint with nursery, but majorly I work with primary and secondary school children. And I had students who weren't offering French, but will come to sit in my class.
Wow.
I had teachers who had free periods. So, you know, maybe when I'm taking their class, that period was free for them. They probably were meant to be marking and doing other stuff, but they were answering questions in my class. And it gave me joy because so much more than the subject, I knew I was affecting lives. I see it as a case of parents knowing what they want. I would always say, if you know better, you do better. Now, because of the way our environment is, parents want their children to pass exams.
Yeah.
I'm not sorry to say that I'm a teacher, but rarely do I check my children's results. I have two daughters, both of them in secondary school. They tell me what they get, but they know for me is much more than that. They come from school every day and I'm asking, so how was school today? And they know the answer is not fine. Because I won't take fine. How are you doing? So they tell me exactly how they are doing. So even my students know that. So they go, you ask, and I'm like, yes, it's because I want to know. So one says, I'm sleepy, and I'm like, should we give you 5 minutes? And then everybody in the class says, yes, I'm also sleepy.
Wow.
But what I do for them is, I need to connect. That 5 minutes is not going to cost me much. So we can play around that 5 minutes. I remembered now, anybody looking at me now, and you knew me some years ago, you know I was bigger than this. I remember some years back, I was taking a particular class, and I was standing on the table.
You were standing on the what?
Table.
Huh.
I dance in my class, I sing in my class, especially because it's also French, and many people don't like French. More like you're subjecting us to learning this. I didn't like French as well, but then I found myself teaching. And I was standing on the table. And the way the doors of the classes are, when parents come to make inquiries, remember I was at the front desk.
Yeah.
So when I take parents on that journey and they're making inquiries, we could peep, you know, into the class without opening the door, so we don't distract the students when they're learning.
Interesting.
So apparently the principal had been standing by the door and she had been watching. So I don't know, she just opened the door and then I jumped down. Now,
and when you jumped down, what?
I thought I was in trouble, as in, because for me, I just do, if I have to sit on the floor, I'll sit on the floor. If we have to rap, if we have to mime, I just need the children to get it. It was beyond passing the exams. Now she comes in and I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. And she says, I've been standing there since, continue. And you know, the term after that term,
wow,
I became a middle manager. This was from somebody who wasn't going to teach, to being in class, and in less than a year, I became a middle manager. Is like, you know, you're an HOD. And you know, I'm still telling myself, I still don't want to teach. I'm still doing this by the side. But today I run a consulting firm. I work with teachers. I help schools recruit. Wow. It's been a wonderful journey. Well done,
Temitope. Well done, Temitope. If there's someone outside there that really, you know, needs to know what they are at a disadvantage and they don't know what to do, what would you be telling them to do? And second, for teachers out there that really want to, you know, get on the journey of, you know, doing better at what they do, what's that one thing that you're going to tell them?
Okay, for someone who's at a disadvantage, you're doing something that is not what you really want to do. Like I said, for 3 days I cried. I wasn't going to be a teacher. We know in this part of the world how teachers are seen. So I took it upon myself, after my own personal experience, to begin to work with other teachers. And then I said, what I will do as the happy teacher is begin to change the narrative. If we don't tell our story, who's going to tell it for us? Nobody. So people see me and they see the happy teacher, and I have had people tell me that because of you, I want to teach.
Wow.
I'm fulfilled when I hear that. It's much more than the money. So yes, if you're at a disadvantage, that thing you're doing now, do you want to pause and say, this is what I'm doing at the moment. How can I make the best of it? And then you move on. Now, sorry, what's the other question? I know the first one was someone who's at a disadvantage.
Yeah, and the other question is, if I'm a teacher and I want to get better at what I do, what would you say I should do?
If you're a teacher and you're listening to me right now, the children in Nigeria need your help. And I say this because we can't be better than what we churn out in our classrooms. The nations that we have that are doing better is because the educational system is working. Now, we all know what is happening in Nigeria. But then am I going to sit back and say, well, it is what it is? Or am I going to say, what is that one thing I can do? So I'm looking at 8 years down the line as a teacher now, and I'm saying that I have had people in my clique who now know better because I'm working with them. So yes, sometimes I hold workshops, I speak, I train and things like that. And I have teachers who are saying, thank you for what you do. Now, so if you're a teacher and you're thinking, well, is it not just to teach? What can you do where you are? Start with that. So I started with my children. I started in the classroom till I then decided to go on my own. So I work with all the schools now. But if you're even a Yoruba teacher and you're thinking, is it not just Yoruba I'm doing? Can you begin to look at your children, the students and the pupils you teach, in a different light and say, this child, this other child is going to sort out the issues we have in Nigeria, and you will find out that over time, the way you deal with them will also change. Because now when I'm talking to my daughters already know that I say I have brainwashed them. They already know that they're problem solvers. So when they're also talking to other students, like one of my daughters has told me before that some of our mates have asked that they wanted me to adopt them.
Wow.
As in, I want your mom to be my mom. And basically all I do is let them know that there's so much more than passing the exams. So most teachers are focused on face your studies, but I'm saying that beyond that, who are you? So even as a child, my older daughter was 10 when she said she wanted to be a psychologist. She's going to be 14 next month. We're still singing the same song.
Wow.
She started a diploma in psychology, online, of course. Maybe because I'm a teacher. A younger sister has started coding. I'm saying this because you're a child, maybe your parents don't understand it, because I also have students who tell me, if I tell my mom this, she says, face your studies. That's what we're paying fees for. Now, make your mom happy. Get the good grades. And then you'll find out that it will be easy for you to tell your mom that, Mom, I want this. Today, my students have this boldness. They kind of like seem like rebels, because I won't lie, I'm a rebel. I don't believe in status quo. Yes. So you now have my own students also say, wait, shouldn't it be like this? So they're beginning to ask questions. They're becoming reflective, and they know that, wait, if we continue like this, I make my students, so yes, I'm a French teacher, but I make them talk about the 5-year plan. It has nothing to do with French. And then I say, close your eyes. Imagine it's 10 years time. Where are you going to be? And then they say, wait, one says, 10. Jeez, I'm going to be married. Oh my gosh. And then I'm like, what has that done to you? She says, wait, if if I'm going to be married and I have children in 10 years' time, what am I going to be telling my child when I don't even know what to? So it makes them begin to think about themselves so that every other person around them
Begins to focus.
Exactly. So as a teacher, it's much more than that subject that you're doing. So I would say teach the child, not the subject.
So if you're a teacher out there, do teach the child and not the subject. We definitely are counting on you to make the nation a better place. We are counting on you to make us better people at the end of the day. Thank you so much, Temitope.
I wish there was more time.
Come in. I wish there was much more time too. And I'm sure that we'll probably have you again on the HopeGrill. And we have a little token for you. I think it's going to make you happier.
What song am I going to sing now? Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Temitope.
Oh,
We're
like
hoping
this.
that, you know, you'd have a lot more teachers that are going to be inspired by this, and that you will keep being happy and your life will be filled with a lot of happiness.
Thank you very much.
We're still on the HopeGrill, and we will be right back. The question on Ask the HopeGrill. I have bad breath. I've tried everything, but nothing seems to work. I've lost a couple of relationships because of this. What do I do? Wow. First, I want to tell you not to, you know, stop trying, keep minting up and all of that. But more importantly, you need to see a doctor. You need to see someone that is going to check your oral hygiene and everything, your mouth, to understand where the bad breath is coming from and what is causing the bad breath. Sometimes bad breath is caused as a result of, you know, probably even what you ate, probably not even eating, because sometimes when you just close your mouth for a very long time and you've not eaten any food and you open your mouth, it could bring out bad breath. So keep minting up, just keep using mints. It's going to help, but more importantly, I think you should see a doctor. Thank you. Quotes for the week. Education breeds confidence. Confidence breeds hope. Hope breeds peace. I hope you've been inspired and you've enjoyed spending time with Crystal and the happy teacher. I mean, I'm so full of joy and happiness right now, and I can't wait to take on my week. So guys, if you're out there and you're not feeling happy, think of the happy teacher and become happy. Life's situation will sometimes want to pull you down, but I don't want you to, you know, keep thinking about that. Just know it's going to be okay and you will be fine. Stay strong, stay inspired, and have a hope-filled week.